this whole track that we're on is completely overwhelming. On the surface, 4 kids, 4 and under, completely overwhelming. Added complexity of generational poverty, generational fatherlessness, generational neglect, generational lack of parenting, and you've got even more mess to deal with. And it often feels like, my wife and I were talking about this last night, hopeless. It feels hopeless. It feels as if there is no light at the end of this tunnel. But I think that's the invitation. That's where the light is truly seen. Not by us, but through us and in us, but also by us. We get to encounter Christ in the most tangible and real way that we have ever felt, in the most hopeless and overwhelmed state that we've ever been in. And that is beautiful. And I don't think there's any way of doing that through outside of practically engaging your own life in it. And I think that's why all throughout Scripture you hear over and over and over again this invitation to minister to the vulnerable, to walk with them, to share life with them, to care for them, because it's only in that context that we're able to feel completely powerless, completely overwhelmed, completely unable to fix the problem, but at the same time witnesses to a God who can fix, can heal, can redeem, can restore, and will use the most weak to teach. And so for us, our journey looks a certain way. It's not going to look the way that everyone's journey looks. And it ought not to. Every one of us is invited in a specific way on a specific track, but nonetheless, each one of us are invited. So for some of you, the invitation may be to open your home through fostering or adoption, or volunteering at the guest house, or some other track. The challenge is, are you willing to do something inconsequential? To engage your life in something that may never produce a scalable change or a quantifiable impact. But can you shift your focus away from that quantifiable impact, that significant scalable change, to a view that says, I'm going to obey, I'm going to follow, I'm going to be faithful in this pursuit of what God has called me to do. I think as we as Christians step into this invitation, because it's very clear in Scripture, God isn't asking us to end poverty, He isn't asking us to heal, He isn't asking us to fix. He says very clearly, Jesus can do all of those things, and Jesus is going to do all of those things. The invitation to you and I is to step into those places that need it, that need that healing, that need that restoration, that need that vision, so that Jesus can work in and through us in that place. He's looking for faithful vehicles for His work. He's not looking for us to do it, for us to fix it. And that's freeing. So my invitation to you is to pray, is to ask, what is God inviting you into? Search Scripture. Ask the question, God, what does mission look like for me? What does mission look like for me here at Wellspring? What does mission look like for me at home? What does mission look like for me at work? What does mission look like for me at my kids' school or at my school? Because all of us are being invited this moment into a place. And generally, we're being invited actually by a face. There's a face in our minds. There's that person, there's that scenario, there's that situation that we don't want to deal with. And that's mission. Is going there and letting Jesus do His work by being weak and vulnerable and overwhelmed in that. So we use this word drowning. Sam used that word drowning a few weeks ago. And I absolutely agree. It is in that context where we see the hand of Christ reaching down and helping us walk on water. It is in that context that we truly witness the living Jesus in and among us at work. When we are in control, when things are predictable and planned and structured, it feels comfortable for us, but we wonder, where's Jesus? When it feels overwhelming and you're pursuing that area that's hard and challenging for you, trying to find hope and peace is what you're wrestling with, but not seeing Jesus, that's not even on your radar. He's there with you. You know that, you feel it. Longing for restoration, longing for that peace, longing for the kingdom come is what you're now wrestling with, as opposed to this angst of, I want to be on mission, I want to be doing more. So pursue the mission that God's put in front of you today. And like I said, for some that's going to be fostering, for some adoption. For others, it's going to be walking with that individual. Pursue it in faithfulness, not looking to see that individual changed, but looking to see yourself enter into a place where you're going to become weak. And through your weakness, Christ is going to be made strong.